We start off tonight with breaking news at an Ivy League school. Police in Providence, Rhode Island say at least 2 people have been killed and 8 are in critical condition after a shooting on or near the campus of Brown University. The university's emergency information website said the shooter was near its engineering building. The university initially said a suspect was in custody, but then issued a new emergency alert saying police do not have anyone in custody. They are looking for a male in dark clothing who was last seen leaving the engineering building. Students are being urged to continue to shelter in place. The scene remains active at this time as police investigate the situation, and information is subject to change. Once we have more information, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. Today, we're getting a clear look at the devastation across Washington state following extreme rain that flooded towns. That's ahead of another atmospheric river. Officials in Chelan County today are ordering all residents of Stehekin Valley to evacuate immediately in preparation for rain that's going to come in on Monday. That's northeast of Seattle. The region was hit by a catastrophic debris flow on Thursday, which wiped out critical infrastructure and power. Our Jake Holter joins us now with the response efforts from the Red Cross. Jake?
Yeah, John, we spoke with a woman based here in Oregon who got the call Wednesday morning to head up to Washington, where she says shelters have been at capacity.
We had one lady just this morning mentioning that when she was in the flood, it was till about here. They had to walk through water.
Homes submerged under as much as 8 feet of water in Burlington, and the National Guard rescuing 9 people so far after the atmospheric river brought devastating flooding to western Washington. Red Cross volunteer Rebecca Davenport got the call Wednesday morning to head up to the affected area and supervise the shelter. She started in Everett, then Bellingham, and now she's in Burlington, which sits between those two cities along I-5.
We have nurses here on board. We have mental health on board. It's here at the shelter. It's basically a wraparound service.
Davenport says her shelter, a local church, hit capacity Wednesday and Thursday night with 150 people taking refuge. The Red Cross opened another shelter across the street to deal with the demand. Davenport was previously deployed to the Texas floods, and she says the scene is pretty similar in Washington.
The flooding is almost as bad from the area and from the damage as I have seen actually in Texas. We don't have the casualty rate here, luckily not. But the water damage and the area being flooded is a pretty large area.
And with another atmospheric river forecasted to hit early next week, Davenport is concerned.
My worries is we are already flooded and the ground is saturated and the rivers are full. What this is going to do.
And the eastern half of Burlington is still under an evacuation order. It was lifted for the west side yesterday. John?
All right, Jake, thank you so much for that reporting. Rescue teams took elected leaders on tours in Monroe and Mount Vernon today as crews assess damage and preparation for what's next. Alex McClune reports high winds are expected to bring more problems.
Washington state is bracing for another atmospheric river, expected to bring strong winds capable of toppling trees and knocking out power.
So we had a number of rescues out here.
Snohomish County rescue teams led elected leaders through ravaged parts of Monroe Saturday morning after dozens of calls for help.
Water is starting to recede here next to the Skykomish River. Firefighters say floodwater was up to your knees.
Snohomish rescue teams saved 42 people from raging torrents, mostly drivers who tried to cross flooded roads and had to be rescued from the tops of their cars. Conditions were so dangerous in one case, firefighters had to instruct a homeowner how to shelter in place when floodwaters were too dangerous for a rescue team.
This event came very close to being much more catastrophic. Very close.
Investments like Mount Vernon's flood wall protected 225 buildings downtown, only feet away from the swollen Skagit River.
We still have Skagitonians who can't go back to their homes this morning. It's tempered by the fact that we are not in the clear yet. There's more rain on the way.
An exhausting week for Washington and first responders. Another atmospheric river is expected to bring less flood risk, but stronger winds, with gusts at least 45 miles an hour.
It does not take 50-mile-an-hour winds to knock over trees, cause power outages, fall onto vehicles, houses, etc. That is a significant concern.
With reservoirs already full, the National Weather Service says it won't take much rain to renew flooding. A state still recovering and not out of the woods just yet.
A massive landslide near the Oregon coast has shut down a stretch of Highway 229 near Siletz. It damaged at least 5 homes between Kernville and Siletz. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says 3 of those homes are significantly damaged. Everyone was able to make it out safe, and the Red Cross is helping at least 2 homeowners. The slide started on property owned by the lumber company Weyerhaeuser and moved all the way down the Siletz River. ODOT does not have a timeline on when the landslide will be cleared. Well, turning now to our weather here locally and taking a live look out over Portland right now. We kicked off the weekend here in the metro with a dry day that even included some peaks of sunshine out there. But it won't be long before that rain returns for us. Corey Johnson is joining us now with more.
That's exactly right, John. Yeah, today was a beautiful day, honestly, between the dry weather, the sunshine you mentioned, and it's not too late to step outside if you want to enjoy your Saturday evening. This is our Rose City camera right now, sitting at 48 degrees, so very comfortable. Just grab a light jacket and hit the down. Our Salem sky camera, similar story out there, 44 degrees, those clouds starting to fill in this evening. And then our Pioneer Park building, I wanted to include this because that beautiful Christmas tree, you can already see people in the square enjoying those lights. 48 degrees for us there. Our temperatures right now sitting very comfortable this evening. I mentioned 48 in Portland. It's 51 right now. Longview, Kelso, mid 50s near the coast as well. 47 right now in Pendleton. We got up to a high of 56 today. Now, although today was dry, tomorrow going to increase in the way of wet conditions, but only slightly. Taking you through the rest of the evening, though, again, it is going to be cloudier as we get into the evening hours. We're going to continue to pay attention to this system moving its way in off the coast. That's going to create those lighter conditions as we get into the rest of our weekend and the new start to our work week, where we will have more significant rain. So this is a look at your 3-day forecast. You can see temperatures steadily increase, but we also steadily increase in the way of wetter conditions. By the time we hit Monday, it'll be rainy, breezy, all the things. I'll break down the timing of everything coming up.
All right, Corey, thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Portland police are investigating a shooting that left 2 people hurt. It happened this morning near Southeast 127th and Stark. An officer reported hearing shots go off and seeing people scattering from a parking lot. They found 1 person nearby with injuries and say another person who arrived at a nearby hospital was connected to the incident. Police ask any witnesses to reach out with information. In immigration news tonight, Multnomah County declared a state of emergency Friday due to ICE activity. It becomes the latest local government to make that declaration. Salem, Hillsborough, Woodburn, and Washington County have all taken similar action, though Multnomah County is the most populated area to make the declaration. This will give the county more flexibility to request assistance from the state, respond to federal impacts, and connect people with local resources. Next week, commissioners will also consider allocating $250,000 for legal and human services. Here's County Commissioner Shannon Singleton at last night's County Commission meeting.
Even now, earlier this morning, ICE took 2 more people from my district. These are 2 more people taken from our community and invoking ongoing fear and sadness. As I know we are collectively in a protective mode, it's understandable that we feel this way, and during these times we need to focus on strengthening this precious safety net.
Commissioner Singleton and County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson also announced plan to introduce a resolution to bolster the county's sanctuary status. They will hold a virtual town hall and listening session on the proposed sanctuary policy updates on Monday. Meantime, the city of Wallport on the Oregon coast is sending a message to ICE. On Wednesday, city leaders unanimously passed this resolution saying the city is opposed to housing federal agents and that the city will take all action necessary to try and discourage a local hotel owner from signing a deal with the feds. It comes after rumors started cropping up that ICE had offered a contract to the owner of the Giant All-Sea Resort, which is the town's largest hotel. Yesterday, city manager Dan Cutter spoke with the hotel owner on the phone, urging him not to take the contract.
I really just laid out the kind of strong, vehement opposition that so many residents in the city had. And I tried to explain that, a short-term government contract, it might provide, riches in the short term. he really needed to be thinking about this business in the long term.
Cutter says the resort's owner is an immigrant who has been in the U.S. for a long time. He ultimately agreed not to sign the contract with ICE, at least for now.